This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, Mr. Jason Glick.
Yep, that's about right, John.
It's internet time. I hear this all the time in other podcasts, so I thought I would just use it and pick it up too. How the hell are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. And as everyone here has probably guessed already, like we've both gone to see Guardians of the Galaxy this weekend. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
some of us, twice, in fact.
Yes, indeed. Uh, I think that movie should get more of my dollars if it's as excellent as this film was. Oh, by the way, there you go. There's my opinion of it.
Yeah, so it was so good that John not only saw it himself, but then he decided to go and drag his family to it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in fact, like my parents actually went and saw it before I did. And that's when I was surprised. My mom actually liked it because she's not a Marvel or comic book fan in any way, but the humor really impressed her, and she compared it to like seeing how she felt when she saw Star Wars the first time, which was quite impressive actually. But I thoroughly enjoyed it too myself.
Okay. What did you enjoy about it, sir?
Definitely the humor. It's like
Yeah.
all the Marvel films have done a good job of incorporating humor like into their approach. But I think like Guardians work particularly well. In fact, it emphasizes the whole irreverent approach. I mean, just when you see the very beginning of the film, when you hear like when Peter Quill or Star Lord like puts on his awesome mix, and then you see the Guardians of the Galaxy like title right there, just as he's like doing like these like dancing around the song, and then he just dances his way through this old alien ruin on another planet, just kicking it to the fat beats, and kicking, and also just like kicking the crap out of the lizard creatures around there, and then just grabbing one and just singing into it as a microphone. I mean, it's that
Oh
that
yeah.
was just really impressive, and Chris Pratt just really sold the moment as well. Just let you know that okay, this is their version of Peter Quill, and he is hilarious.
Oh yeah. I agree. It was it felt very, it didn't feel forced, it just felt there. It was
Yeah.
the humor was there and they just threw them in there and where I didn't expect them, but it was great, Good timing, you know.
Yeah, and and all the humor just sprung forth pretty naturally from all the other characters. I mean, yeah, obviously Chris Pratt as Peter, just like really like this is his show. It is, as everyone else, all other reviews have said, this is a really star-making role. Well, unless you want to consider his role as Emmett in the Lego Movie, which is still the best movie I've seen so far this year. But this, but but yeah, it's like it's his show, but still, like the all the other actors managed to acquit themselves. Most of the other actors managed to acquit themselves pretty well. Um, Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper do a great job as the voice actors for Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Cooper, of course, getting all the best lines as Rocket, and just like clearly having a great time in the role of this genetically augmented raccoon. And like they also like managed to play off like, hey, it's not entirely fun and games for this guy, and in a way that doesn't feel like heavy handed or forced. And also with like John, what do you think of Dave Batista uh Drax the Destroyer?
I thought he did great. The performance was natural. It didn't seem, it's so funny when you see, like somebody coming in, and I don't know if he's been in anything else or what his
He
acting
was
career
in
is.
he's probably been in other stuff, but I only other thing I know he's not off the top of my head was in last year's Riddick.
Oh, okay, all right. The I'm I'm so used to seeing some wrestlers just deliver their lines like, just really robotic, and he was very organic with the role.
Yeah, it's like on one hand, it's like part of me wonders if director James Gunn wrote it's like wrote the part like around Batista, and just, if you just considered, okay, I'm having I have a wrestler in this role, so I'm just gonna like not make him that all that expressive and everything. But at the same time, though, I think Batista really displayed some really impressive deadpan skills with this. It's like that he just like there's some stuff that just could have been really cute or come off as too clever, but he just did this really good sense of deadpan to the point where like you believe that he had no idea when someone when it's like when Peter like does the whole like throat slitting.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that, like the finger across the throat thing, and it's, and he's like, why would I want to put my finger across his throat?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. You actually believe the character like really had no idea what Peter was doing with that maneuver. Same as when they said when he said like no, nothing would get over my head. My reflexes are too great for that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just a great line, fit him well.
Yeah, so I think I did like him in that role. It's like I'm looking forward to seeing like what they do with him in the future. And even though it's definitely in the upper echelon of wrestler roles. I mean, it's like for me it's like the best film that a wrestler has been in was Andre the Giant in Princess Bride, and the best performance given by a wrestler that I've seen is Roddy Piper in They Live.
Yeah, that's a classic culty kind of, yeah, film. It's like,
Yeah, not just for the whole I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum
bubblegum.
line. But he also gave like a performance that actually felt pretty lived in for like this homeless drifter. It's like that. It's like that sums on this alien conspiracy. So that's what I feel. But the only weak link, and even this isn't a major complaint, because kind of felt that Zoe Saldana didn't quite feel as invested like in everything as it's like as the other cast members were. For some reason, she just didn't quite come off as it's like as sincere as Gamora, like the assassin and the deadliest woman in the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess comparing pound for pound, I'll just have to use her Star Trek stuff that she's done. And I know she's been in other things, but we're talking sci-fi essentially right now,
Yeah.
Or adaptations of sci-fi. And when you see her in that,
Avatar as well.
yeah, oh yeah, and yeah, and that one's unique as well. And definitely, she's one of the main characters in that. When you watch her, she's definitely her presence is there. Of course, she's sharing the screen with everyone else, they didn't push her out into the front, although she did have that nice fight scene
Oh,
a
she
few
had
times,
plenty of good
several
fight
times.
scenes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I enjoyed those. So but yeah, I not like highlighted, but there. I
Mhm.
tend to agree with your opinion on that.
Yeah, and also as for the bad guys, Lee Pace as let's see as I'm Ronan the Accuser, kind of let's see, consider a little bit different from how he's been portrayed in the it's like the Marvel comics, but I thought he came off reasonably well here. Not nearly as the waste of talent that we got with Christopher Eccleston as Malekith in Thor: The Dark World, but not in the same league as say as Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean he managed to like have some good dramatic moments. He got to name the it's like the Guardians, but I still kind of wish we had gotten more like into his mindset and motivations beyond the fact that he's a Kree fanatic, driven to like enacting their laws against everyone else.
Yeah, yeah, even against maybe even possibly his own government.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
against his own government, but also definitely trying to screw over Thanos, much to his it's like much to his ultimate detriment at the end.
yeah. But he did seem like I'm just gonna be the big bad, you know,
Hmm.
and I am the bad, you know.
Yeah,
But I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, not bad, but not exceptional as well. And the film also had it's like had plenty of cool nods to the comics as well. I liked seeing Nowhere, which is from the Abnett and Lanning Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy runs, and also the cosmonaut dog in the film.
Yes.
Yeah, I love seeing him there because he's actually like a fairly major player in Abnett and Lanning's runs because he's actually the telepathic and telekinetic security chief of Nowhere in the comics. So
Ah.
so you see him talking in his Russian accent and trying to keep the peace while all this craziness it's like unfolds around him in the comics. I would have I would have liked to have actually seen that actually seen him given more of a part. I think that the idea of a of a Russian accented talking dog would have made a great fit for the tone of the film, but it was not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I still like seeing the post credits cameo that we
yes.
got.
Yes. And those kind of fall in line, don't they? A
Hmm.
little there. So, yeah, and, can't wait to see what they produce for the next film. According to some blurb I was watching on television earlier, they were saying like 2017 is slated for the next Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
Yeah, they've already got Gunn has already been signed for it, and I'm sure they've locked all the key cast members in. But I can also, but anyone who is familiar with the comics, and when we saw that bit at the end when we find out more about Peter's origins, um, it's like I have a pretty good idea where they're going to go with that because anyone in the comics who does know about that what Peter's deal that he's actually I mean, hey, it's like yeah. If you've seen the film, then yeah, this is going to be a spoiler. But if you've read if anyone's familiar with the comics, already knows that Peter is actually the heir to the Spartax Empire, and he's just been playing the role of rebellious scion for like for the last couple decades now.
hmm hmm and is that what your topic for their primary topic will be for tonight?
Yeah, it's like well, yeah, it's basically talking about the Abnett and Lanning run. But one last thing I
Oh
want
yeah,
to bring up with the movie is
sure.
that I mean, they got a lot of really talented actors for these to like fill out the film, and even like for parts that you would think that okay, this is the part that people are being asked to play is way below what these people are capable of delivering.
hmm
So, such as in the case of say Benicio del Toro as a collector, John C. Riley as that Nova cop,
Yeah, yeah.
and Glenn Close as Nova Prime.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you on this.
Yeah, but the one part that I one character who really did make the most of his supporting role was Michael Rooker as Yondu.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really impressive to see the man who he's gotten another because he's been a great character for years, but he's gotten another big lease. He's experienced a minor career resurgence thanks to his role in The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
And here it's him. It's impressive to see him act more white trash here than he did in The Walking Dead.
indeed. He didn't even miss a beat. He's just the same guy basically with blue paint.
Hmm. Yeah, and even though like it ends with hey, maybe this may be the last we'll see of Yondu. To be honest, Rooker does such a great job that that they wanted to write him into to the sequel or a future Marvel movie. Then I definitely love to see him back in that role.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, but as for the actual comics themselves, it's worth noting that the if you're paying attention to the credits, you know that they actually give a specific shout out to Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning as being based on the Guardians of the Galaxy comics that these two guys wrote. Because the thing is, like for years, Marvel's cosmic side was kind of neglected, except for whenever a writer wanted to do something out in space, and then they'd bring up whoever they wanted to in a special guest role and whatnot. But then like several years back, in fact, I did a podcast on this several years after the fact. Like Marvel put out did a cosmic event called Annihilation, which basically reset the status quo for a lot of their cosmic characters, from Nova to Peter Quill to Ronan the Accuser, the Silver Surfer, lots of characters, and we got. And this is as the as Annihilus broke out of the negative zone and launched like a gigantic assault against the universe. This was the main series was written by Keith Giffen, but Abnett and Lanning did the Nova series, which was so well received that we got a new Nova series written by them, spinning out of it. Then, once based on the success of Annihilation, then we got a new, another new crossover, of course. This time masterminded by Abnett and Lanning themselves, called Annihilation Conquest. This time Ultron was revealed to be the big bad in this. It's like in this event, and he had basically broken to the Kree Empire using the Phalanx as his. It's like as he mentioned, it's like suborn them himself, and then we had Nova and everyone else, and plus a few new characters that weren't in the first crossover, basically teaming up to take down Ultron and his evil schemes. And here we come to the point of this podcast, which is in the wake of these two gigantic wars, Peter Quill decides, okay, with all this crazy shit happening, we need a team of troubleshooters, real hard cases who can stand up to the worst the galaxy has to offer, and fight back against these problems before they destroy the galaxy, instead of like reacting to them as they happen. So, problem is that the real heavy hitters basically turn him down. So basically he's forced to go with a bunch of specialists who are kind of like who are definitely not bad or anything, but they're kind of like, but it's definitely a much more ragtag group than we got. So in addition to Peter himself, we've got the Abnett Lanning Guardians of the Galaxy team is initially made up of Drax, Gamora, Rocket, Groot, and as well as Phyla-Vell, the Captain Marvel of the current era, and Adam Warlock. So definitely not a and also Mantis and Cosmo running security on Nowhere. So the thing is, I mean, this the Abnett Lanning run lasted for four volumes before sales basically caused the series to wrap up and then get a resolution in the Thanos Imperative. So the thing about these four volumes though is that for a good portion of their run they are really mired in crossovers, because we get crossovers with with Marvel's Secret Invasion crossover at the time. Then there was Abnett Lanning's War of Kings event, which had the Inhumans taking on the Shi'ar, led by Gabriel Summers, and then the Realm of Kings, which is in the wake of War of Kings. There was this gigantic vault, which basically was a window into another universe where life had won, and that and it continued to grow like a giant cancer throughout. So, first volume is probably the most interesting and easiest to get into, because like they're not dealing with a bunch of crossover stuff. I mean, they are setting up a bunch of stuff that will be followed up on later. It's like later on, but then you've got Peter and everyone matching wits against the Church of Universal Truth, taking their belief engines, finding a time lost major victory. And also a time traveling Starhawk as well. And this is in addition to them also managing things. It's like on the home front Nowhere, as people just look at the Guardians and go, wait, what are you? You guys are just a bunch of screw ups. What are you doing here managing this stuff? So there's that. I mean, it's like, and the series does not take itself too seriously. There's lots of good humor involved. Peter's Peter's sense of humor is very much intact here, even though it's much more the kind of self-deprecating. It's like, yeah, it's like we're kind of screwed, but hey, I'm going to laugh about it. Type of humor, and everyone else comes off pretty well too. Then even the see, the secret invasion stuff is actually worked in pretty well. As it turns out, the scroll people here are the scrolls involved in this story are actually have a good reason for wanting to hide out nowhere, because they're actually conscientious objectors to the whole thing, to the whole scroll crusade. And then the volume ends with the team finding out reason, the real way that Peter got them on board with this new Guardians team. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, that's kind of a dick move on Peter's part, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you've got like our first big break with the team right here, and that actually turns out to be a like a recurring thing over the course of the series run, as the team does seem to undergo some major shakeup every 6 issues. But that's the first volume. Volumes 2 and 3 are the War of Kings, like tie-in stories. But volume 2 isn't. It seems to have been like given that banner just to boost sales, because it actually does just continue like the subplots of the main characters more than anything else. I mean, you've got Drax looking for that girl he was friends with, Cammy, from the Earthfall series in the original Annihilation crossover. Peter falling into the negative zone and taking on Blastar, and Rocket leading a new makeshift group of Guardians to take on the the threats the galaxy faces, while Peter is indisposed as a result of his deception. It's like with the team, and then Adam Warlock also is like taking on the Church of Universal Truth to deal with the schemes they have planned. There is a clever bit with there is some nice continuity used here, in the sense that the Peter winds up helping Blastar take on the negative zone prison from Civil War. It's like that's been established in the negative zone. Let's see, and finding out and countering all of the supervillains who've been enclosed. It's like as a result of things. This includes Jack Flag, who no one here has probably ever heard of, unless you've read Warren Ellis's Thunderbolts run, because he was a guy who presented as a kind of like not really as kind of a generic Captain America type hero, in the sense that he was fighting to help America. He's got enhanced damage resistance and damage dealing attributes, but he just had his ass handed by the Thunderbolts, and he had his back broken and dumped in the negative zone prison as a result. It was nice seeing him here, but that's only because I read like Ellis's Thunderbolts run, and in fact, that's continuity is a big issue with Abnett Lanning's run, especially when you get to volume 3 of of the series, and we get into the War of Kings crossover proper. Because I mean, like then, but you've also got the stuff in the latter half of volume 2, when you get Phyla-Vell and Drax trying to bring Moondragon back from the dead. And much as I am all in favor of seeing space lesbians it's like embrace their, like, try to reignite their love, it's just kind of like a lot of what we see here is just kind of like does involve the two, like Phyla-Vell and Moondragon, just kind of like being apart and just having their relationship fucked with as a result. So then you get to the volume 3, and then continuity starts to become the devil more than anything else. Because while I like the War of Kings crossover event, and the Guardians and have a nice role to play here, in the sense that they are trying to get the Inhumans and the Shi'ar to stop fighting, because if they don't, like the entire universe is gonna pay the price. Things naturally don't go the way they plan, but this also results in lots of confusing time travel stuff with Peter Quill's team. And then you also get Adam Warlock reverting to his Magus persona. Now, Adam Warlock isn't really a very well known character like these days at all. But then when you start talking about his alternate Magus persona, you're gonna go. Most people would go, "What the hell is going on here?" But I have a friend of mine, coincidentally named John, who also got me involved in this series, and he told me about how Magus, how Warlock eventually became like the Magus, or this evil um version of himself in an alternate timeline. It's like, but that timeline was severed like back in the what I don't know the back in some decade, a couple while back. And so Abnett Lanning are basically revisiting this this thing right here, as it's like as they try to avert the hostilities and and deal with the gigantic fault that's going to be created as well. But this continuity stuff is way over my head. It's like, and I would have, and it's still pretty hard to get invested in or keep track of, even if I hadn't been told by my buddy about what was going on here. So even though it's like like these four volumes have been reprinted as in deluxe editions for the to cash in on the movie's success. It's wow. It's like I just kind of wonder, like, well, what people who have seen the movie and then pick up these things, particularly the second one, are going to think of once they see this right here and go, okay, I know these characters, but what the hell is going on with them? To be honest, Bendis's current Guardians of the Galaxy run, which was essentially made with the idea of directly of providing a much more relatable version, like focusing on the main characters we know that were going to be in the movie, is actually would probably be more up to speed for anyone who saw the film and is looking to get into them. But there was, like I said, there was a lot of good. There was some good stuff with Abnett Lanning's work here, and then you get to the final volume, volume 4, which is the Realm of Kings. Like after the gigantic fault had been created with the War of Kings, and now the Guardians and everyone have to deal with the Cancerverse spilling out into into their world, into their universe, and this includes Moondragon winding up getting a giant chthonic baby, like absorbed into her in order to save everyone in the station. See, and then eventually everyone finding out, just taking on the Church of Universal Truth, and getting their friends back who they thought were dead but actually weren't. And also just setting up the whole Thanos imperative cross event as well. So it finishes fairly strongly for the most part, but Abnett Lanning's Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of uneven, and really it's like probably really shackled to the crossover events and continuity to be of interest to people who aren't already invested in deeply interested in the interests of the Marvel universe. So if you've seen the movie and you're looking for something that's along the same lines, this may be a bit too continuity driven, and just, well, I like weird, but it's also just too strange compared to what we saw in the movie to really get your to really be of that much interest to anyone who's seen the movie. Bendis' stuff, it's not quite as ambitious yet, anyway, but it's probably more accessible, like if nothing else. Also, the art in these volumes is pretty good. I mean, Paul Pelletier handles the first volume and one issue in the second. He's a great superhero artist, and he handles all the aliens and stuff really nicely. Then the rest of volumes 2, 3, and 4 are split between Brad Walker and Wesley Craig. Walker is he's more like he emphasizes detail and cross hatching over. It's like in comparison to Pelletier, he's much more in line with that artist's style. And Craig is much more. He's not as detailed. He goes for much more much like a more animated style than what the other artists are seeing here. And so it's kind of like, and on one hand, it's kind of disappointing that you kind of wish they had found like another artist who was just like an artist two artists who could emphasize consistency between each other, but that's not what happens between Walker and Craig. They do both do good work, but it's just kind of like it's at odds stylistically with each other. So overall, it's like the movie absolutely fantastic. Definitely one of the best Marvel movies they've done yet. Recent comics, well, I was like, if you're like I said, if you're looking for decent Guardian stuff, I actually, to be honest, I recommend at least the Annihilation stuff. All the event stuff that Abnett and Lanning have done has actually been really solid. And if you're looking to get a good idea of the appeal of Marvel's cosmic stuff, I'd recommend that over the actual Guardians of the Galaxy work they've done. John, any thoughts here?
Yeah, so I'm looking on Amazon right now just to, plug it, and they have Abnett and Lanning's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Complete Collection Volume 1. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just mentioning like it's not even this particular volume or is not even released yet. Actually, they said this particular one will be released on August 12th.
Oh, that's dumb. I mean,
So I was like, oh well, okay. So I threw it into the old pre-order cart, but that's all I can do. But yeah, I do see the Bendis volume here as well. So on
mhm.
Amazon,
Yeah,
and
you can get the first Bendis volume in soft cover now.
yeah, yeah, exactly. The Cosmic Adventures here. So um, but yeah, also available on Kindle. And I think I was mentioning, I think maybe we don't talk about this much, but Amazon did buy Comixology, and I know we haven't mentioned it on this particular podcast. We might have talked about it offline or whatnot, but I'm interested to see like what that will be, how that will develop, because I do notice that they do have the Kindle version of this for $10.99. The paperback volume. This is the Bendis Cosmic Avengers volume. 12 $12.22. So
Yeah, it's like I mean, I see like a lot of the Kindle stuff it's always cheaper than
mhm.
what you can buy no, like for the actual print version.
Now the Guardians of the Galaxy by Abnett and Lanning, they're only offering. They only have it as the paperback volume. So
Yeah, I see that they've apparently they're offering the first volume one of Abnett Lanning's run, like of the four volumes they've put out. That's apparently $4 right now,
oh,
according to them.
oh really? Okay. All right. I'm not looking in the right place here then. But yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I see it here. I see where you're talking about. Yeah, $4. Yep.
Yeah, and apparently the second collection of their work comes out in December, which I guess would be in time for the DVD release
Nice
or
timing.
something.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
timing there. Yeah. How much you want to bet it'll be out before Christmas?
yeah,
Hey, I'll be on board because I definitely enjoyed the movie for sure. Certainly, and I do want to explore these volumes, these trades.
yeah. But I mean, it's like the movie. Like I said, I like the comics, but the movie actually does a good job of making all this stuff really accessible
Like,
for everyone, accessible and funny.
yep, absolutely. I recommend it. Go watch it.
Yeah, and we'll see if it's really strong start this weekend actually manages to lift it beyond all the other. I mean, like, it's weird how this year a lot of films have opened at 90 million, like say like like X-Men, Godzilla, Captain America,
Mhm.
and I don't know, Transformers managed to barely get over 100 million, but all this stuff is like opened at 90 million, and then just petered out. Oh, Spider-Man as well,
Yeah.
petered out around 200 million or so.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. X-Men: Days of Future Past sure did. I mean, it had a little staying power. I mean, Transformers had no staying power whatsoever after its nice little record-breaking weekend. It just fizzed out.
It had better staying power in China.
Yeah. Well, there was lots of product to be placed there in China, so. Um,
Hmm. Yes.
Oh, I'm regretting it. No, yes, I'm telling you. If you guys are listening to this and you saw it and you liked it, I'm sorry. I hated that film. That film was a waste of money and just I don't know. That's it. No more Bay dollars. No more dollars will be allocated to Michael Bay unless
And
he
I
changes
still
his
have
ways.
and I still get to see any of the Transformers movies.
Well, that is absolutely not only do you save the money, but you also save your sanity from trying to watch something. How can you make a movie? And I love that little that article you had sent me about the Hulk that guy had written about the Hulk reviewing it. Yeah, and
Mhm.
he was dead on. It's like, how can you make a movie that's 2.5 hours long? Is it just utterly boring from beginning to end? I just, and that's exactly how I felt about that film. So, this film, however, not the case whatsoever. So, interesting characters, great pacing, and great and a good look to the film. And like you said, you got a good mix of characters. A plus in my opinion. So
Yeah, so hopefully it'll get like a box office run that's closer to Captain America, if not the original Iron Man, than anything else at this point.
yes, exactly, and that'll be a good insurance policy because really this is kind of a gamble for Marvel, and well, I guess Disney as the underwriters of everything that Marvel does nowadays in movies.
Hmm.
Um, but relatively unheard of for most people, right? And then just for it to pop out, of course, you can, that it was well marketed.
Yeah, well, and also the buzz was really good going into it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that definitely helped things as well. It's like, and also it shows you that Marvel can just keep putting out. It can also take. We'll probably be seeing more like more stuff like more risky ventures like from Marvel though. Kind of like I mean, I keep hearing that, about their working on their Doctor Strange movie and also Ant-Man as well. But Ant-Man's a risky venture at this point simply because of the bad it's like bad vibes from the fact that Edgar Wright departed the project earlier this year. So
Hmm.
like, if they can like hopefully I mean they that the new director Peyton Reed like can bring the goods to this new one. But they've got good guys in Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas. It's like in this like in their roles, but yeah, it's like we'll see about whether or not this film is good enough to make us go. Yeah, we kind of wish they had gone with the Edgar Wright version instead. But that's something that we'll see whether or not they come up with next year. But even then, I kind of wondering if they'll actually manage to make the July start debut with all the problems they've had. It's like behind the scenes now.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. Safe to say that next week I've got 15 volumes of stuff. I've already read one of them so far. 15 volumes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to get through before our next podcast.
All right. Well, excellent. And we can't wait. We'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Click.
All right, laters.
All right. Bye.